Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to know more about the meaning of sentence, classification of sentences, and of course, we'll go further to know the components that makes up sentence. And of course, the number of references that I'm going to use, I have a communicative grammar English. We have communication skills book. The next one is learn to communicate effectively. And the third one is communication skills handbook. To start with the meaning of sentence. Of course, sentence, according to different scholars, they came up with different perspectives or views on what sentence is. But generally, when we talk of sentence, it's just a group of related words that are put together following that syntactical arrangement so that they can bring about meaning. So for it to be a sentence, words have to be arranged syntactically so that to bring meaning. For instance, you have the following words that are not arranged syntactically, like you have father, farm, going, is. They are haphazardly arranged. So for them to be a sentence, they have to be read like father is going to the farm, for example. Now, when we talk about the classification of sentence, of course, we have two major categories that are classifying sentence. Sorry. Number one is classification of sentence according to structure, and number two is categorization of sentence according to function. So far as we deal with the students who are pursuing certificate or diploma in law, our main emphasis will be given on the categorization of sentence according to structure, whereby according to structure, a sentence is mainly assessed or synthesized into two main perspectives. Number one is nature of the clause or type of clause that are making that sentence. We mean either independent clause or dependent clause. The factor number two is the number of clause. We have to see or to weigh how many clauses are there in the sentence. So knowing the number of clause and also the type of clause give you a pave way of knowing what kind of sentence is. And of course, according to structure then, we have four main types of sentence, which is simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and compound complex sentence. So to start with a simple sentence is a type of a sentence that is made up by a single independent clause, and when it stands alone, it brings about complete meaning. For example, if you say father is eating or my kid is reading, that is a simple sentence because it is made up by a single independent clause. That's why, as I said previous, that we have two factors that determine the categorization of sentence according to structure, which is the type of clause being either independent clause or dependent clause, and the second factor is the number of clause. So under simple sentence, we find that it is made up of an independent clause, and that clause is one. So the combination of simple sentence yield to a second type of sentence, which is compound sentence. And we mean compound sentence, these are types of sentences that are made up by two independent clauses joined together by subordinators. For example, say Joyce is cooking, Godfrey is eating. Joyce is cooking and Godfrey is cooking. So there should be two independent clauses brought together by the help of subordinating or conjuncting clause. So today we'll end up there and look down at the comment section, say anything if you understood, and the session will be resumed next week this time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. You are welcome.